Hey the learners, welcome to Educate. Today we are going to do Ohm's law and the resistance theory. So basically I've made two videos so far and I've explained the basic introduction to electric circuits. I've also explained the concept of current, voltage and resistance. Now we are going to just link all of those three quantities to this law that is known as the Ohm's law. So basically here the Ohm's law states that the potential difference across a conductor is directly proportional to the current through the conductor at a constant temperature. So the potential difference, or it is otherwise known as the voltage. So you can see potential difference, or basically they can say it is the voltage, still the same thing. And then across a conductor, or they can say across a resistor, it simply means the same thing. It will be directly proportional to the current through the conductor, but this must occur, or this must happen at a constant temperature. So here this law can be used we can use mathematics to actually represent it and say that the voltage or the potential difference across a conductor will be directly proportional. This symbol is for directly proportional to current. This must occur at a constant temperature. Now let us question this. What does it mean when you say that the voltage and the current are directly proportional? This means that when the voltage increases, also the current will also increase. The word directly proportional suggests that here, when voltage and current are directly proportional, when you increase the voltage, the current is also going to increase. Okay, so when you hear that the voltage has been increased, then the current also will have been increased as well. So basically, you know that the voltage is the energy that is provided by the battery to each charge so that we can create current. So this makes sense to say that if we are using a battery that provides more energy, for example, if you go and buy a 20 volts battery, you see it's got a higher voltage. It is not the same thing as the torch battery, the one that you use to light up a torch. So if you take a battery that is used to light up a torch and you take a battery that is used in your car, the one in the car has got greater voltage, so it is the one that allows for greater current as well. So basically when the voltage increases, the current as well will also increase. So we have got a good mathematical equation, V is equals to IR, that links these three quantities, and it's a resemblance of the Ohm's law. It's not really the actual Ohm's law because or when you go to tertiary institutions or when you do electricity further, you will hear another version of it. But this equation for grade 10s, 11s and 12 is a perfect resemblance of Ohm's law. So basically V here, it is the voltage or it is the potential difference. So this is your potential difference. So this is potential difference. You measure it in volts, so the potential difference is measured in volts. It is just basically the energy that is given to each charge, to each coulomb of charge, so that you can have current running through. And then this I here, it is the current. That's the symbol for the current strength or the current, and we measure it in amperes. So we measure it in amperes, that's the unit. So whenever you see 2 amperes, that is the current. Whenever you see 2 volts, that is the potential difference. Whenever you see, this is the third quantity, which is a resistance, and we measure it in ohms. This is the symbol ohms. So whenever you see me writing something like 10 with this symbol, so this means that this is the resistance. Okay, we measure it in ohms, hence we have the Ohm's law. So basically we have got a couple of things that we can apply this Ohm's law and its postulates to different types of questions. We can look at the first application, which is a series circuit. So here we're having a series circuit with a battery that is 14 volts. So this is the total voltage of the battery. So that is the total voltage, or you can say it is okay, for this case, since there's no internal resistance, we're just going to say it is the EMF. So they can say it is the EMF of the battery. It is 14 volts. It's the total voltage that this battery can give to its components. Remember that when you've got a series circuit, we say that the voltage is divided, but the current remains the same. It means that the voltage, this 14 volts will be divided across these 3 resistors. We can identify here from our diagram, from our circuit diagram, that we have got 3 resistors. This is a light bulb this is a light bulb, it has some resistance, so it is a resistor. Guys, don't treat a resistor just as these symbols. A light bulb is also a resistor because it has some resistance basically. Okay, it's also a resistor. So we've got a resistor here, it's labeled as Rx, it's 2 ohms, that's its resistance. Then you've got R1 here, which is 4 ohms, that's its resistance. Then you've got R2 here, which is 8 ohms, that's its resistance. So since we have said that this 14 volts will be divided across these 3 resistors, it simply means that the total voltage, or which is this 14 volts, it is equals to the sum of the voltage in Rx plus the voltage in R1 plus the voltage in R2. So remember that I've already explained in another video the series and parallel connection and what does it mean when you say that we are dividing voltage in terms of mathematics. So here basically this 14 volts will be shared to these 3 resistors. So now the misconception is to say that these 14 volts will be shared equally. No, that's a misconception. It is because this 14 volts depends on the resistance, or how much is going to Rx, how much is going to R1, how much is going to R2. What do I mean by that? I'm trying to say that the voltage is directly proportional to the resistance, provided that the current is remaining the same. So at a constant current, the voltage is directly proportional to the resistance. So here we have already said that in a series combination of circuits, here Rx, R1 and R2, they are connected in series to one another, and we are going to say that their current is the same. So that's why we say that here the current remains the same. So here Rx, R1, R2, they've got equal current. All right, they've got equal current because in a series connection, remember that the current is the same for all components that are connected in series. Now here, the voltage is the one that's going to be divided. This energy of 14 volts is the one that's going to be divided. But now the question would come and say, out of this 14 volts, which resistor between Rx, between R1 and R2, which resistor will get the most voltage from this 14 volts? Because it will be divided, but which one will get more voltage? How do we kind of see that? We see that by using this relationship to say that the voltage is directly proportional to the resistance. So once you have got a greater resistance, then you'll also have a greater voltage. So when you increase the voltage, okay, when you increase the resistance, you are going to also increase the voltage, right? So basically, if a question comes and say among the provided resistor, this is a Rx, R1 and R2, which resistor has the highest potential difference here? Remember, the potential difference is the voltage, right? So which one would have the highest? Which one would get the most of the voltage from this 14 that will be divided to the resistors? You refer to this law that says V is directly proportional to R. So the greater the resistance, the greater the voltage. Or you can say when we increase the resistance, we are also increasing the voltage through that component. So here, if we compare these 3 in terms of their resistances, you have got Rx, it is 2 ohms, that is its resistance. You have got R1, it is 4 ohms, that is its resistance. You have got R2, it is 8 ohms, that is its resistance. So you can see that here, the one that is the greatest, the most, it is R2. So R2 has got a bigger resistance. It is the one that is the most resistant to the flow of current. Remember, resistance is just opposing the flow of current. So R2 opposes the flow of current the most out of these 3 resistors. So what does this mean? It means that R2 will receive the most voltage as well, because voltage and resistance are directly proportional to one another. Okay, that's what this law applies, or that's what this law implies or intends to tell us, to say that when you've got a greater resistance, then you would have a greater voltage or a greater potential difference. So amongst these 3, you would say that R2 has the highest potential difference. So R2 has the highest voltage, or has the highest potential difference. And if you are going to give a reason, you are going to say R2 has got the highest resistance here, it is 8 ohms. And we know that voltage and resistance are directly proportional. So R2 will have the highest voltage or the highest potential difference. So we apply this on a series circuit only. This V is directly proportional to R. We apply it on a series circuit because on a series circuit, we know that the current remains the same or the current remains constant, okay? On a series circuit, the current is remaining the same because Rx, R1, and R2, they've got the same current going through them. They are receiving the same total current from the battery. If here the current through 2 ohms, it is 70 amperes. So let's just suppose that the current here that we have at the 2 ohms light bulb, it is 70 amperes. Then R1 and R2 will also have 70 amperes because they are connected in series. The current is not splitted in any way. So I hope that you get that. But here, the voltage is the one that depends on the resistance. The one with the highest resistance will get the greatest voltage as well. So now we can try to shift this and try to put it in a parallel circuit. So when we are given a parallel circuit here, this is a parallel circuit that is given a voltage of 4.5 volts. You can see that here you only have got a parallel circuit. There is no combination here. It's just you have got just 2 components here, and these 2 components, they are connected in parallel to one another. So here you can see that these are light bulbs, but they have a resistance. So they're actually resistors in a sense. They resist current flow. So here, the first bulb here, it has got a 4 ohms resistance. Then the second bulb has got a 5 ohms resistance. They are connected in parallel to one another because you can see that they are not receiving the same current. Current is divided amongst them. So basically, remember, we said that the voltage across parallel components, it will be the same. The voltage is equal when you've got parallel components. So this means that this 4.5 volts will be the same voltage here in this 4 ohms resistor. It will be the same voltage here in this 5 ohms resistor as well, because in a parallel combination of a circuit, the voltage is equal. It is equal. Okay, the voltage is not divided, it is equal. So this 4.5 volts will be the same voltage that you'll find here. It will still be 4.5 volts, and here this will still be 4.5 volts as well. So here we can now argue now about the current. So the current here, which component here or which light bulb will have the greatest current, right? So between 4 ohms and 5 ohms, which light bulb? Let's just say this is light bulb A, and then this is light bulb B, both of them having resistances. A having 4 ohms resistance, B having 5 ohms resistance. Which one will receive more current, or which one will burn brighter? Because basically when the bulb is receiving more current, it will be brighter. It will be the brightest. It won't be dim, okay? Because it's receiving more current. So which bulb here will receive more current, or we can say which bulb will burn brighter? You now employ this law. We say that the current is inversely proportional to the resistance at a constant voltage. So you can see that here we are having a constant voltage because remember that the voltage is remaining the same since it's a parallel circuit. So this law of saying current is inversely proportional to resistance, we apply it when we are dealing with a parallel circuit, with a parallel combination of a circuit. We don't apply it in a Lego series. Why is that? Is because in a series circuit, the current remains the same. So it doesn't matter the resistance. Remember, in a series circuit, as we did there, the current through R1 and R2 and Rx is still the same. It is because they are connected in series. They receive the same current regardless of their resistance. It doesn't matter that R2 has a greater resistance or will have greater current. No. Okay, the voltage is the only thing that matters here. Okay, but here for the parallel circuits, for the parallel combination, the current here is inversely proportional to the resistance because we have got a constant voltage. The voltage here through 4 ohms and 5 ohms, and the one of the battery, it is the same, 4.5 volts. Now the current here, this is the reading of the current A1, and A1, it is the total current because this is the current that is coming from the battery's positive terminal, right? So this is a positive terminal, this is a negative terminal. So basically the current here is moving in its conventional direction from positive to negative. So the current that we are finding here at ammeter A1, it is 3 amperes. So this 3 amperes is known as the total current because it's the current that is coming from the battery directly. And we know that as this current flows and flows and flows, the moment it reaches this position or the moment it reaches this point, it will be kind of confused where to go, because at this point the current has got two parts. It can either go up or it can go down. You've got two wires. The wire is splitting into two parts, so the current here is divided. That's why we say in a parallel combination of a circuit we have got current that is being divided. So some of the current will go up there and it will go to the 4 ohms light bulb, and then some of the current will be going down there and it will be going to the what, to the 5 ohms, and then this current will combine again and it will make the total current once more. I have explained this deeply using my video of series versus parallel circuits and how that works, but basically the current is divided. So this 3 amperes here, it will be splitted amongst the 4 ohms resistor and the 5 ohms resistor, but it will not be splitted equally, because current is inversely proportional to resistance. What can we say about this law? The greater the resistance, the lower the current that will be in it, because the word inversely proportional describes a relationship between two variables whereby one will go up, another one will go down. Okay, they are always opposite to one another. That's inversely proportional. That's an inverse relationship. So when you have got a greater resistance, we will have lesser current passing through that resistor. When you have got a smaller resistance, we would have more current passing through that resistor. So here we have got the 4 ohms resistor at one point, we have got the 5 ohms resistor at another point. So which one will receive more current from these 3 amperes that we are going to split? Because this 3 amperes is the total current, the one that is coming from the battery exactly, and it will be splitted at this point into this blue current, the one that is going up, this blue current going up there, and then the one which is green here, that is going to the other 5 ohms light bulb. So comparing these two, we see that 4 ohms, it is less than 5 ohms. So 5 ohms has got a bigger resistance, and since this is an inversely proportional, we can say that 5 ohms would have less current passing through it because it has got a greater resistance. Guys, inversely proportional simply means that when you've got a greater part, in this case when you've got a greater resistance, then there will be less current that is flowing through. The greater the resistance, the smaller the current passing through that resistor. So here in this case, the 5 ohms resistor is greater than the 4 ohms resistor, because basically 5 is greater than 4. In terms of resistance, 5, this light bulb B, it has got a bigger resistance. So this bigger resistance of light bulb B, it will actually cause less current to flow through, because the current does not want to flow on a place where it is resisted. I mean, think about it. When you say that something is resisting, it just means it is opposing the flow of something, right? So if we take a pipe that is open like this, if we take a pipe that is open like this, then we take a pipe that is narrow like this, and we put some water in each pipe. Which pipe will allow more water to flow? The one that is wider or the one that is narrower? Obviously, the one that is wider will allow more water to flow. Same thing, the one that is narrow will allow less water because it is narrower. So that's how we can make an analogy on resistance to say that this bigger pipe, it has got less resistance because it allows more water to flow. And then this smaller pipe has got more resistance. So it has got more resistance because it allows less water, because it is narrower, so it allows less water to flow through. So that's how we relate this to electric current. Same applies with electric current. When we have got a greater resistance, it means that less current will pass through because the current is being resisted from moving. Guys, there's no possible way that this pipe that is so wide, it will carry less water than the one that is closed, that is narrow. There is no possible way. So here, please get this sense. As I'm saying that when we've got a greater resistance, the current will be smaller that is passing through that resistor, because it is that component, it is resisting. In this case, light bulb B, it is resisting current from passing through. So that's why we say that they are inversely related or inversely proportional. So that's why we say that from these 3 amperes, the total current that is being divided here at this point, more of these 3 amperes will go to 4 ohms than 5 ohms, because 4 ohms has got lesser resistance, so more current can pass through because they're inversely proportional. So here, if they say which bulb will receive more current or which bulb will burn brighter, it will be bulb A which is the 4 ohms resistor. And if they say give a reason for your answer, you say that 4 ohms resistor is smaller than this 5 ohms resistor. It has got a lesser resistance as we compare it to this 5 ohms resistor. So there will be what? There will be more current that is passing through because resistance and current are inversely proportional to one another. That's 3 marks. You mentioned that A has got lesser resistance than ubani, than B, because we have got 4 ohms is lesser than 5 ohms. So the resistance of A is smaller than the resistance of B. That's 1 mark. The next mark, you say that now more current will now pass through ubani, through 4 ohms. Why is that? It's because of this inversely proportional relationship. So here, the lesser the current that we are finding here at 4 ohms, it means the lesser the resistance at 4 ohms, it means there will be greater current because they are inversely proportional. 3 marks. That's how you explain the relationship between those. So you apply this on parallel circuits only because we know that at parallel circuits, we have a constant voltage. All right. Don't confuse these laws, those two. Now, let's try to look at resistance. If we add more resistors, what will happen to the circuit? If we add more resistors, I will take the same series circuit that I've been using, which is having Rx 2 ohms, R1 4 ohms, R2 8 ohms. So these 3 resistors are connected in series. So what will happen if I add a resistor in series? So the question will be like a third. Okay, in here we've got 3 resistors. So if I can say a 4th resistor was added in series to this resistor, so it just simply means that I'm adding another resistor here. Here we go. And I say maybe this resistor is 12 ohms. So basically I'm adding a resistor. So as I'm adding a resistor here, what will actually happen to the current or the voltage of the circuit? So basically when you add a resistor in series, the total resistance will increase. I mean, come on guys, remember that the total resistance, how do you find it in series circuits? For you to find the total resistance in series circuit, you would have to add the sum of these 3 resistors, R1 which is 2 ohms, R2 which is 4 ohms, R3 which is 8 ohms. I show you only have okay, we've got 3 resistors initially at first before we added these 12 ohms. So the total resistance during that time, it was 2 plus 4, 6 plus 8, 14. So this is 14 ohms. So initially the total resistance of the circuit was 14 ohms if we were combining 1, 2, 3, these 3 resistors. But now I'm adding a 4th resistor on top of this, and I'm adding it in series to this. So if I'm adding this in series, what will that mean? It will mean that I'm actually increasing the resistance, the total resistance, because if I calculate the total resistance again while considering the one that I've added, I would have to say on this plus 8, I have to say plus 12 ohms. This 12 ohms, I'm adding it because to find the total in series resistors, what do? You just add their resistances. So you're going to add 2 plus 4 plus 8 and then plus the 12, the one that I've added. So when I add a resistor in series to the other resistors, the total resistance will do what? It will increase. And we know that the current and resistance, they are inversely proportional. So the moment the total resistance of the circuit increases, then the total current will decrease. Why? It's because they're inversely proportional. Remember the relationship of inversely proportional, that when we have got a greater resistance, then the current will be lesser. So the moment when you add a 3rd resistor, in this case you added a 4th resistor of 12 ohms, you increased the resistance of the circuit, the total resistance of the circuit. And the moment you increased the total resistance of the circuit, the total current will have to drop. It's like you are increasing the tightness, or you are actually making the pipe to be even tighter, so less water will be able to pass. So basically, when you increase the resistance here, what will happen to the current? The current will decrease because they're inversely proportional. It's 3 marks just saying this. Okay, it's 3 marks. So basically, when I add another resistor in series, the total resistance increases, the total current decreases, because they are inversely proportional. So this only occurs in a series circuit. Please be very careful, grade 10s, 11, 12s, on how you treat this. This is in a series circuit. If it is in a parallel circuit, it is the opposite. So here is a parallel circuit. We have got 4.5 volts as our voltage. or as our potential difference, the total potential difference. So now if I say that I'm going to add a resistor in parallel, now I'm no longer adding it in series. Remember, ngale, I was adding it in series and we said that the total resistance increases. Here, if I am going to add a resistor in parallel, the opposite will occur. The total resistance will decrease. When I increase the resistors, but I connect them parallel, so it means that I'm connecting another resistor. Maybe I extend this and I put another resistor. Okay, you can see that we already have got 2 light bulbs here, 5 ohms light bulbs. We have got 4 ohms light bulb. Now I'm going to add another resistor, and I say this resistor will be 2 ohms. So you can see that I've added another resistor, but I've connected it in parallel to these resistors that I have. So I've connected in what? In parallel. So I'm adding a resistor in parallel. It's not the same thing as adding it in series. Remember, when I was adding it in series, there was no current that is being splitted. That's why it's very important for you to understand what we mean when we say that current is being divided or current is the same. When you are adding a resistor in series, you are adding it in this way. It's still receiving the same current as the other resistors. But for a parallel circuit, you will be adding it in this way. And when you add it in this way, this will make the total resistance decrease. It is because basically when you are adding when you're finding the total resistance, let's just say that what is the total resistance here using these two resistors that we had at first, which is 4 ohms and 5 ohms. You would have to say that 1 over R parallel will be 1 over 4 plus 1 over 5, because remember that when you're adding resistors that are parallel to one another, you say 1 over R parallel is equals to 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2. If they are more than 2, you keep on adding, plus 1 over R3, and you keep on increasing them depending on how many they are that are connected in parallel to one another. So here I'm saying 1 over 4 plus 1 over 5, and then this is just something like 1 over R parallel is equals to, this is over 20, this is going to be 5 plus 4, and then this is going to be 9 over 20. And basically R parallel there, I'm just going to vice versa, because here I'm not looking for 1 over R parallel, I'm looking for R parallel. So here I'm just going to vice versa these terms. I'm just going to take R parallel, put it on top, and then I'm just going to do the same thing here. Take 20, put it on top, 9 at the bottom. I've explained this further on my video on series and parallel circuits. So here my R parallel will be 20 over 9, which will be 2 point something. So 2 point something. So it's just 2 point something, something, something. I don't know, whatever that is that follows. And then it will be measured in ohms. That's my initial, at first, when I was just counting this 4 ohms, and this 5 ohms resistor, this was my total resistance of this parallel circuit. But now I'm adding another resistor. So if I add another resistor here, if I now add another resistor which is 2 ohms, I would have to say that here this is 1 over RP, 1 over 4 plus 1 over 5, and I would have to say plus 1 over 2 again, because now I've got more resistors. And if I add this, trust me, it's going to be smaller. It won't be greater, because these are fractions. This is just how maths works, okay? All right, so basically here, when you are going to increase the number of resistors, but you connect them in parallel, the total resistance will decrease, all right? The total resistance will do what? It will decrease. And when the total resistance decreases, then the total current will do the opposite, because remember that resistance and current, they are inversely proportional. The current is inversely proportional to the resistance. So the moment the resistance here, it is decreasing by you adding another resistor. So the resistance, it is decreasing. So what will happen to the current? The current will increase. So the current will increase since they are inversely proportional. That's how you get your marks. So just confirm this. Just say 1 over 4 plus 1 over 5 plus 1 over 2. Try to see the answer that you get. It must definitely be less than the answer that you had at first. Because when you are adding resistors, but you add them in parallel, the resistance of the circuit, the total resistance of the circuit will decrease. And the moment the total resistance of the circuit decreases, then since it is inversely proportional to the current, then the current will have to do the opposite, which is to increase. I hope that we're together, guys. Electricians, please bear with me. Let us do now practices to see that do we get the concepts of what I've been saying. So here, this is a practice paper that I've extracted from previous question papers. Here you are having a setup of a circuit. It's a combination. We've got a series part as well as a parallel part. Okay, we definitely have got a positive terminal and a negative terminal. So our direction of current is flowing in this way. So this is the direction of conventional current, and then here it is splitted. Okay, so some of the current will go up there, it will go to this light bulb B, and then some of it will go to this light bulb A, right? And then when this current is splitted, it will come back here and then it will combine again. It will continue, it will continue to continue, go to part C, continue and continue. Oops, switch S is closed. Okay, let's just assume that switch S was open here. Let's just okay, it is open. Let's just assume it was closed, so the current can be able to pass, because when it is open, basically it won't be able to pass. So now the question says, if bulb B fuses, how will this affect the total current of the circuit? If bulb B fuses, when you say that a bulb is fusing, it just simply means that the bulb, it is burning. Iyasha. You know that when a bulb is burning, poo, yakuma, yaphela, yafa. Yeah, something like that. Iyasha. Yabon. So here, this bulb B is fusing. It's just fusing. It won't be able to work anymore. Simply that. All right. So here, what will happen? How will that affect the total current of the circuit? And then this is given 2 marks. How would you explain it? Try to pause the video, try to attempt it on your own. If you would like, you can even comment about it on the comment section, or okay, you can just do whatever you want. I don't care. So basically here, if bulb B fuses, it means that we are no longer counting it. So it means that bulb B is out of phase. We're actually not counting it, because the moment that it fuses, the current cannot go to something that is not working, something that is dead. So the moment that a component does not work anymore, even if you are connecting it, the current will not be able to move to bulb B. So it's like we are actually removing the bulb B. When you say that it is fusing, iyasha, so we're actually removing from the circuit, because the current will not be taking any path to go there. So what does this mean? It simply means that here, at this point, remember that at first the current was splitted to go to bulb B and bulb A, because when bulb B was still working, the current was splitted. Some of it went to bulb B, some of it went to bulb A, but bulb B is no longer there. So all the total current, it would have to now go to what? To bulb A. So in essential here, what have we done? We have actually removed a resistor, and we have removed a resistor that was parallel to A. Because A and B, they were parallel when bulb B was still working. But the moment bulb B fuses, it means that the current will not be able to go to bulb B, because it's no longer working. The system is dead. It won't be able to work anymore. So we are removing a bulb in parallel. It's like we are removing a resistor in parallel. Remember, when you add a resistor in parallel, the total resistance decreases when you add a resistor in parallel njalo. Here we are removing a resistor that is parallel to A. So what will happen to the resistance? The resistance first here, you first comment on the resistance. The resistance of this will increase. So resistance will increase. Why is the resistance increasing? Because guys, I have told you that when you are, I repeat, guys, please listen to me very carefully. Grade 10s, 11s, and 12. This is your only opportunity to hear this the right way. When you are increasing components, when you keep on adding resistors in parallel, the resistance will decrease. When you are adding, it decreases. I repeat, it does what? It decreases. So here I am removing a bulb B, and bulb B is parallel to bulb A. So I'm actually taking out a bulb from a parallel combination. So it's the opposite. So the resistance would have to increase. So here, when the resistance increases, what will happen to the total current? The total current decreases. And here they say give a reason for your answer, right? So the total current, here they just say right only increases, decreases, or remains the same. So we just say the total current there, it will decrease. So the total current decreases. Why is that? Because they're inversely proportional. because they are inversely proportional. They are inversely proportional. So guys, please make sure that you understand this. When you are adding resistors in parallel, the resistance decreases. When you are removing resistors in parallel, it means that they will increase. It will be the opposite of Jehovah. All right, cool. Let's try this one again. Just be patient with yourself. Switch S is now opened. All right, you've got a circuit here, and then this circuit is 22 volts of battery, and then we have got a positive terminal and negative terminal. This is the current flowing in this direction through A2. So A2 is the emitter measuring the total current, and then when this current is flowing, it reaches a place whereby it has to split into two parts because the conductor is dividing. So some of the current, it will go through to this side to R1, some of the current will go to R1, right? And then some of the other current, some of the other total current there, it will go down here and it will go to R2, which is 4 ohms. And 4 ohms and 2 ohms, so there are two of them here. And then this current will recombine again. It will combine again back to what it was, back to being the total current. It will now move and go to this device. So this device is getting the total current. Okay, so this is the current, this is the current. Make sure that, guys, you've watched my videos on series and parallel circuit. Understand what I'm doing here. Yeah, so it's fine. So switch S also, so now the switch S is now opened. So here we're actually opening a switch. So we are trying to say that here this switch is now an open switch. When you open a switch, here this question says, will the current through the device increase, decrease, remain the same, and give a reason for answer? Remember that we have said that the device here, it is getting the total current. Okay, so the current that is going through this device, it is the total current, because remember this current here, it is the one that is coming from the battery. Exactly, it splitted here, it went to R1, to 4 ohms and to 2 ohms, but it recombined again and went to the device. So it's the total current. So they're actually asking, will the total current, which is just the current through the device, will it increase or decrease or remain the same? Here, what has happened? We have opened switch S. By opening a switch, what does it mean? Remember that current cannot move when the switch is open. Guys, something like this. Current cannot move. Okay, here current cannot move. There is no current in the circuit. All right, but if I'm going to make some connection here and have a resistor here, there will be current, but this current, it will flow only on this part. So the current will be able to flow here because this is a closed path. You can see that these wires are connected perfectly. There is no place which is open, so the current can flow because the current needs to move from positive to negative terminal. It needs to move from positive here to negative terminal. So basically, we can say that here the current is able to pass here. It is able to pass in this route. So the current will not be able to go here because the switch is open. So now we are opening a switch here in this diagram, opening switch S. The moment you open switch S there, do you realize, grade 10s, 11s, and 12, that the current will not be able to pass? The current will not be able to pass through resistor R1. So it is like we're actually removing resistor R1. You have to look carefully, observe what the question's intent is. So by opening the switch S, we are actually cutting off the power of resistor R1 because there is no current that is able to pass when the switch is open. So there is no current that is able to do what? To pass when the switch is open. So the moment I open switch S, R1 will not be getting any current. So the current is actually only able to move all the way from the positive terminal, move straight downwards, go to 4 ohms, go to 2 ohms, go to the device, and then come back to the negative terminal because that path is closed. There's no open part. So the current cannot pass through R1. So here is the same thing as saying that I'm removing R1 from the circuit because there's no current passing through it. So basically when current is no longer passing, it's practically the same thing as saying I am removing R1 from the circuit. So R1, you can see that it is connected in parallel to these two resistors, R2 and R3. So I'm removing a resistor in parallel. The same fate will all happen for as the one that we have done previously. The resistance will increase Why is that? Because I'm removing a resistor in parallel. The total current will have to decrease. Why is that? Give a reason for your answer. They're inversely proportional. The last one. Here you're having this practice again. You've got 12 volts battery here. You've got a positive terminal. You've got a negative terminal. So the current is flowing in this direction. And this is emitter A1. Emitter A1 is measuring the current directly from the battery. The one that is coming from the battery, it has not been splitted in any way. So this is the total current. So 2 amperes here. It is the total current of the circuit. So that's your what? That's your total current of the circuit, 2 amperes. And then now this current moves and moves and flows and flows. When it reaches this point, it has to decide and now move. So now when it decides to flow, which direction is it going to flow? It is going to, some of it will go there to the 6 ohms resistor. Some of it will have to go down there to the what? To the 3 ohms resistor. So out of this 2 amperes total current, since it is going into a parallel combination, it will be divided. So it's divided. Some of it will go to the 6 ohms, some of it will go to the 3 ohms. If I may ask here, which device here, which one between 6 ohms and 3 ohms, which one between 6 ohms and 3 ohms will get the greatest current? Guys, I've said that current and resistance are inversely proportional. When you've got a bigger resistance, you will have less current flowing through. So here at 6 ohms, there is less current flowing. Here at 3 ohms, there is more current flowing. So out of these 2 amperes total current, more current will flow here in the 3 ohms resistor because it has got lower resistance compared to the 6 ohms. And then this current will combine again. And then it will move, it will flow to the 4 ohms resistor, and then back to the negative terminal. Here we go. So now how will the reading on emitter A1 be affected if the 6 ohms resistor was removed from the circuit? So we are removing the 6 ohms resistor from the circuit. What will happen to the reading on emitter A1? Remember, the reading on emitter A1, it is reading the total current. So in other ways, the question is saying, what will happen to the total current? How will the total current be affected if we were to remove this 6 ohms resistor? Question yourself one thing. This resistor, is it connected in series or in parallel? In this case, it is connected in what? It is connected in parallel to the 3 ohms resistor, because this current is being splitted here. It's a parallel combination. So when I'm removing a resistor in parallel, what will happen? The resistance, first of all, you talk about the resistance. When I'm removing a resistor in parallel, the resistance will increase. That's the first thing. So the resistance will do what? It will increase. And when the resistance increases, since they're asking out about the total current, which is the reading in emitter A1, then the total current, it will decrease. Total current decreases because basically once resistance is bigger, then total current will be smaller because they are what? Because they are inversely proportional. That's how you get the 3 marks. They are inversely proportional. And then here we go. So it's 3 marks. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3. Simple to explain. 4.3, you just state, you write down what will happen to the current. The current here, we say that it will do what? It will decrease. 4.4, you explain this inversely proportional. You explain what happens to say that when you remove the 6 ohms resistor, the total resistance of the circuit, it will do what? It will increase. When you remove a resistor in parallel, it increases the resistance. I repeat for the 1,000,007th time. Please, grade 10s, 11s, and 12, be very careful on this, especially the electricians. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to also stay tuned.